I do. Stephen Ferrandi, Steven Ferrandi. I live at 45 Sylvan Road. Thank you, council members. I know it's late. I'll try to be as brief as I can. We've heard a lot tonight. I'm going to speak on each of them, the ADU, the bedrooms up to 5 with 5 persons, and the floor area ratio. So I'll start with the ADU. This is, the ADU really, it's originally what I would say is the in-law apartment, only I believe the in-law apartment now is kind of off the game. I believe this replaces the in-law apartment. So it's like a modern day in-law apartment. Only thing, this is going to open up to not just in-laws, a lot of other people also. I guess that was the point in determining it. So I can agree with some of it. I think that the issue of a one-year lease and not being a short-term rental is going to help. We might not lose as many to short-term rentals. We might get some more one-year leases. Could be vague on how they are attempted in the off-season, like it was mentioned tonight. But I think there's still some time to think it over, have your work session, and maybe some other good ideas can come about it. I think there might be a little consensus about a one-year lease. Maybe adding something in about the old in-law apartment. Maybe that could take some of it also. We won't lose as much to some rentals. So that's what I feel on the ADU. The floor area ratio, I believe that the sellers should stay in the FAR calculation. The state law specifically says basements. That's what it has to be. I mean, I know there's some sort of a misconception about what a basement is in the state law, but my point is, and I know, Jim, you've been looking to have the whole thing, basement or cellar, out of the calculation. But we have a state law, so that's what they passed. They passed the basement. If it wants to be changed, go up to the state law. You got about another month or so to get that changed and add cellars to it. That's what really needs to be done. That's what you want. I mean, I was at all of these hearings from before the ADU in the floor area ratio, and they got a lot of people that rented the property, mostly investors. Probably 200 people sent emails and everything, and most of them were landlords, and most of the people that wanted them there were for landlords. So they were able to build higher, bigger, and better, according to them, for investment. So, I did a little survey and looked at it, and I looked at how many people that came there to speak in favor of the floor area ratio, and it was probably about 75% of the people that were named, that I had left their name, were on the states and most of them the Narragansett short-term rental list. So that was strictly an investor throw-in. We've tried to make adjustments to the whole bulk zoning before. Some concessions were made. I don't think you should change on this one. It could be envisioned that the basement or the first floor, if it's low enough, if they dig a little bit down, it can be the raised ranch. You could maybe possibly get 3 complete stories above that, and the floor area ratio on the bottom would be discontinued. So I think you should leave the cellar, keep the cellar in the calculation. On the unrelated, up to 5, now I think this one is very clouded. The state had an unrelated law. It got changed. It could be no less than 3 unrelated, and it didn't have anything to do with a bedroom, and it was constitutionally vetted from the United States government in the Village of Belterre versus Boras decision. So here the state comes, and this one was the same thing. I looked at the people that came and wanted the up to 1 bedroom up to 5, and it was at least 75%, if not more. Investor-driven landlords, people that were in the rental community, rental agents, all that. So here's what happens with that. They've misconstrued it by relating bedroom. They put it by putting bedrooms in as unrelated. I think that's an issue with the federal law that considers the unrelated. Also, it did go to, we did prosecute some people on that, or fine them. They did go to court, and I think it's been settled now about the lawsuit, and I think it's been dropped. It might not, I believe I saw it in the public. So the first judge that came on that, Judge Lamphere, the zoning judge, stated that the ordinance was vague and unconstitutional. Oh my God, you'd think that judge would have committed a crime, severe crime. The Attorney General jumped right on it and said, the plaintiffs did not ask for that, but he ruled that way. So why did he rule for something that wasn't asked? So that kind of went out on a technicality. It's very difficult to get a judge to vacate, but the mere meaning that that judge thought that was unconstitutional and vague tells me issues that the state's unrelated ordinance is not maybe under scrutiny. So just keep that in mind. We don't want to open up ourselves to talking about not any lawsuits and all that stuff. Maybe it does have something with the normal unrelated ordinance, with the for a dwelling. We also have the 3 college student ones that said before that, you know, that's the only one that's been constitutionally vetted from the state Supreme Court. Depending on who you ask, this council has never given any indication that they've enforced that. It started being enforced this fall in September, and there's one member here that was found in violation. It was James Durkin, and his particular house, when he was at the zoning board, it was told that they couldn't go forward with it. All of these student ordinances, these 2 college student ordinances were being dropped. Why? I asked Steve Marsala, never got a reply. I asked Mr. Mark Davis, never got a reply. Mr. Callahan has been asked, never, and he hasn't been in public and given a reply. So either you want to do this ordinance or not. Don't let this 3 college student ordinance cloud the 1 per bedroom up to 5. You can use both. The Taft-Carter decision, the last time the town won, said they're 2 distinct ordinances. So I think there's a little more investigating that needs to go on with that, and it's a good ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Lawler.